Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend. Not DBD related as you can tell by the title, but I was invited to try out the new 3v4 Texas Chainsaw Massacre ASIM by Gun Interactive, which is set for full release August 18th of this year. I was hoping to get into the tech test because my interest was sparked after hearing about it a while ago on Twitter, which I must say have incredibly wholesome devs, a lot of which I follow on Twitter, but also the same guys who sent me this cute little care package a while back too. Isn't that really neat? Just something really cute I wanted to share, but I also wanted to share a quick rundown on my thoughts of the game so far and also how the game is played because we have a lot of new people playing. But before I start, I want to warn you this game is very performance heavy by default, requiring a 3080 for 1060 60 FPS. So if you're like me and do not have a super beefy graphics card, I'd recommend setting it on low, especially if you're streaming, otherwise you're going to run into some issues. These options are not available in the main menu, but are instead available while you're queuing, but also while you're in game. So upon opening, you've got the main menu, which is actually all in 3D and very well done with changing scenes each time you click a different little section. And the tutorials are pretty standard and tell the basics of the gameplay without telling you too much, as they want you to actually play to understand it a little bit better, which is again understandable. You have the option to play victim or family. Both are great roles in my opinion and super fun on both sides. And because this is a tech test, some things are limited of course, so I'll be explaining those along the way. There is only one map available for the tech test, which is the Dawn version of the Slaughter family house, but there will be at least 3 available upon release. And keep in mind, these maps are RNG based as well. Layout changes will be very minimal, but obtainable items and objectives can change quite a bit. When I first started, I chose victim first, but your objective is to escape the Slaughter family house, of course, but you have to work for it. Working together can be key, especially since there are voice comms, but sadly, mine and many others are bugged. Anyways, there are 4 playable victims with unique abilities but shared attributes as far as I can tell, but for the sake of the tech test, they are not actually expanded upon, so you figure them out yourself, which I've done to a degree. And before you start, be careful about waking up Grandpa with either too much noise or by opening the initial basement exits, as when he gets leveled up, he can reveal your aura to the family. So for our victims, we have Sony, which has a unique ability to allow him to detect noise made by anyone nearby, revealing their location. Connie has a unique ability to pick locks much faster in exchange for stamina and can perform actions without building the noise meter as much. Anna has a unique ability that lessens the overall damage she gets from attacks and falls, and Leland has a unique ability that allows him to dash into a family member to stun them temporarily. There are also items in the environment that can be found such as health, unlock tools, the fuse, and the valve, but also bone scrap as well. So far you can escape 4 separate ways, but I've only managed to escape with the fuse box opening the basement exit, which is timed by the way, but also running through the front/side doors. I don't recommend the latter because 1, the path is super long and the family have a lot of stamina on you. 2, the end of the dirt road could possibly be wired if the generator is powered on, which shocks you, and yeah. It took me forever and a day to escape, but I took a break and played family to test my luck there. As family, there are 3 playable members with additional help from Grandpa, and obviously your objective is to stop the victims from escaping the slaughterhouse. And although Grandpa is not playable, he is a great asset because all the family are able to feed him blood, which then powers him up and allows him to help detect the victims. Blood can continuously spawn around the map, but you can also gather it from the victims that you attack. He also needs to be awakened for his abilities to work, obviously, and he can be woken by feeding him to level 1, victims making enough noise, or the initial basement escapes being opened at the start of the match. However, Grandpa can be shanked, so be careful of that. That would cause him to lose blood, which is obviously bad for you guys. So, Cook has a unique ability that allows him to focus on listening out for victims, and if their sound is detected, their location is revealed. He additionally has locks that he can place on doors around the map, and he can also shut off the crawl spaces and tight areas that victims navigate through. However, he is really slow and runs out of stamina easily, so his playstyle seems more focused on patrolling the house and collecting blood. He can collect the most blood out of the family. Hitchhiker has a unique ability that allows him to set up traps around the map, and additionally, he can follow victims through nearly anything except for the vaulting locations. And although Cook can place additional locks near the front door like I mentioned, as Hitchhiker, it's probably best for you to turn on the generator to power the end of the road's electricity like I mentioned, but also start the car battery to electrify the back exits. He has great stamina and his playstyle is geared towards hunting survivors down. Lastly, Leatherface has his chainsaw as his unique ability, but it can be tricky to use. But the plus is that he spawns in the basement before Grandpa is awake and before the other family members come down, and he can break through certain victim obstacles and doors early on. He has the best stamina, but he collects the least amount of blood. Now for my thoughts, so far the tech test is amazing, especially for an ASIM, which many have been made, but many have also failed. The mechanics of this game are easy to learn, both sides are surprisingly fun. You can team up with friends for either side. The gameplay itself is super interactive and you're constantly doing something with little to no downtime, and I think the additional content that they have planned and more for this game will make it go super far. I know many will ask, will this kill DBD? Probably not, but that's not the point of newer games. Two things can coexist and be good. I personally think so far the best victim is Connie, obviously for her unique ability leading to fast escapes, and the best family member is probably Hitchhiker or Leatherface for their aggressive playstyle and chase, for me. All roles are playable and do their own thing, more or less, which I also enjoy, such as Cook being more of a defense style role that also helps Grandpa, or Leland to protect the group with his ability. I'm super excited for this game to release in August, and I'll be playing more of the tech test all this weekend. So if you have any questions, just stop by at twitch.tv/lilypie101, and I'll be live from 9 a.m. CT and onwards. And also a huge props to Wes Kellner and his team over at Gun Interactive. You guys are doing amazing, and I will see you guys in the next one.